All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Jacob. I'm a guitar teacher. I've been playing guitar my whole life, ever since I was a little kid. So, um, gotta try not to move the mic around because this headset pops. So I'm sorry if there's any crackling or popping. Uh, it's this old gaming headset. Um, I have another mic here, a really nice one, but I don't know, something fried, and I have to replace it. Anyway, um, been playing all my life, and um, my whole life I've been a computer nerd as well, and I've been going down the tech path and the computer path. But what would really make me happy is to have a career based around music. So I am starting up. I'm trying to find students, and I not only do guitar, but I also do audio production in Ableton, and I've done that for many years, um, over a decade now. And my moniker, my audio production moniker, is 10 Pence. I have it here on this little thing I could show you just to spell it out. So if you go to soundcloud.com/10pence, you'll see there were hundreds of beats until they asked me to pay money. Um, I think they've reduced the list down to like 67 now. And if I paid, they would unlock it and show the rest of the music. But I have it all saved on my hard drive. It's not really that important to me, my SoundCloud page. But you could go there and see all the hip hop beats and trap style, whatever you want to call it, beats. Um, a lot of old school retro video game and arcade game sample flips and stuff like that. So, I am a guitar teacher. I teach guitar, and I also, if you're interested, can also do lessons in audio production, just straight up Ableton. And music theory plugs into either one of those. So if you want to go down either of those paths, you also have the music theory to, to be the cherry on the top. uh, so yeah, I could teach you hip hop beats, audio production, guitar lessons. I could even teach piano, because I learned a lot of that. I actually taught myself music theory on the piano, funnily enough. Like, I played guitar my whole life. I never understood music theory. I would just learn songs like this one behind me. I have a Lamb of God book behind me for the album Sacrament. I would just memorize songs, and I would focus on playability. And so I got really good at that, but I never understood theory. And then once I started learning audio production and using the piano to play synthesizers and all that stuff, it all came together. And so when I teach music theory, I'm actually going to use a piano for some of it, just for like to show you things, okay? Because, and this is another secret. Here's a free lesson right here. The guitar is actually just 6 pianos stacked on top of each other. Each string could be looked at as an independent piano, and each one is just shifted forward a little bit. So it's kind of like 6 pianos on top of each other that are diagonal. And so I don't know why, but seeing it on the piano, kind of like reducing everything down to one string, it just blew everything wide open for me, and it made everything make sense. So I spent my whole life, coming to these realizations and grinding and reaching these plateaus where I would stay relatively the same in skill for months, sometimes years, and then I'd have these eurekas that would blast me further into the next level. But I'm self-taught, so that's what I'm trying to do, is not only make a career, but also help my students, skip those plateaus where it's just long periods of nothing and of trying to figure out, what am I missing, what's the next step. I just want to help guide people through each one of those periods, in a sensible and structured way. And it's also a choose your own adventure novel, like one of those old goosebumps, you know. So you could come in and say, Jacob, I want to learn metal. I want to shred, you know, Dimebag Darrell and Alexi Laiho and all these people. I want to play like that. And I could definitely help you with that. Or you could say, I like classic rock. You could come in and say, I like funk and pop. And I can help you probably more so through Ableton on that side of things. But I can help learn all that kind of stuff. Or if you're like me, you're like a shredder and you or something or a beat maker, but you just need some help on the theory, the music theory, to understand what all that means, because it's really cryptic and it doesn't have to be. It's like coding. I actually taught myself coding as well at a certain point in my life, pretty recently, like 4 years ago maybe. I downloaded Unity and I started learning C sharp, and now I've moved on to Unreal and just C plus. But it's the same thing. Coding was the same as music theory. My whole life I was like, man, that's complicated. It's too much. Like, I'm not a mathematician. And then once you just buckle down and put your nose to the grindstone, you're like, man, this really isn't so bad. Like, with coding, it's all figured out already. It's really the art of copying and pasting. That's one of the secrets that they don't tell you. And you do that to learn. The first few years of your life, it's just all copying and pasting. And then before you know it, you start to memorize functions. You start to learn what's more efficient than the other. I'm not going to go on a whole thing, but that's another thing. Like, that's a side note to this video, that I can also coach in indie game development. If you so desire, and you're in Greenville and you want somebody to talk to about that stuff, lessons for that, in Unity or in Unreal. I know way more in Unity, but I'm actually trying to transition into Unreal right now to learn both ecosystems and stuff. So those lessons would probably be in C sharp and in Unity. But I also, I know graphic design, video editing, all this stuff. I mean, I know tons of stuff, so if you want just a digital nerd to teach you things, I can also help you there. But anyways, let's move past that. I'm trying not to take too long here because I'm a bit of a rambler, so I'm going to try and stick to the important stuff. So, when it comes to guitar specifically, I have labeled or decided that there are three major pillars of guitar, and that comes down to comprehension, playability, and repertoire. So comprehension is all mental. It's about your understanding of why you're doing what you're doing, why you put a song together a certain way, or what it even means to be in key, all that stuff. Sorry, I'm looking to the side. I actually made a script for this because I tried it a few times just off the dome, and I ended up just rambling for way too long. I got to stay on script. So, comprehension. It's all about the mental, the understanding of what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. Playability is the exact opposite end. It's the lizard brain. It's just pure muscle memory. It's training your fingers, your wrists to be in position. It's exercises, running drills up and down and getting faster, getting more articulate and precise. And then there's your repertoire, which in my opinion is the least important, but also it is important. And your repertoire is what kind of songs can you play without looking at them, without, having sheet music or having to sight read or anything, and how well can you play them. So, like I said earlier, the first entire part of my life was all repertoire. I would learn song after song after song. Van Halen, Alice in Chains, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath, Pantera, Lamb of God, Just learning song, anything. Like I would be listening to some Guns N' Roses and I would hear a solo. I want to play that solo. And so my repertoire really sucked because I would only learn the most interesting parts of songs. But that was my personal journey and how I approached it. So It's one thing to say like, oh, I have massive comprehension and I have massive playability, and then someone hands you a guitar and says, oh, well, play me a song, and you're like, oh, I can't do that. I need to read something while I play, or I need time to prepare for this. It just it just makes you like it kind of lowers your reputation a little bit. People want to be able to see you whip it out and be like, yeah, here's Eruption by Van Halen, or you know. And again, there are songs that are easy to play but sound really impressive, and then there are songs that are really difficult to play, and somebody hearing them might not even think much about it. If they're not a musician, they might not realize like what you're doing there is actually complex. So all of that can be learned, all of that can be taught to you in any fashion you want. If you want to just come to me and say, Jacob, train me up to be impressive to other people as quick as you can, I can do that. And that would, that would have a certain path. We would focus mostly on playability. So, yeah, comprehension, playability, and repertoire. Very important, each pillar, and I think that each one should be worked on evenly and equally. And in my lessons, we would actually start with repertoire. I would ask you, what are you interested in? What are like maybe 5 or 10 songs that you would love to play, or that you love listening to? What's a guitarist or a couple guitarists that you're super interested in? I could show you how to play like them, not just like what song, like how to play their songs, but also how does that artist think? Like, what kind of actions do they typically make on a guitar? Like their note selection and things like that. So really, it is all up to you. It's not just a one-size-fits-all document that you show up and I hand to you and say, like, here's where we start. Learn Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It's not like that. So there it is. So I introduced myself. I explained all the other things I could teach you other than just guitar. And then the 3 pillars of guitar, or any instrument: comprehension, playability, repertoire. And we're almost done with this video. The next thing I want to say is that I'm extremely affordable, so the student and the teacher will both benefit, because I'm not established. I haven't been hired on by like Pecknell or Guitar Center or any of these places as an official teacher. Those people make a ton of money. I invite you to go online and type in Greenville guitar lesson cost, or how much for a guitar lesson in Greenville, or any of that search results. You're going to see that a lot of these people charge $1 a minute, sometimes more. So it can be $60 to $75 for an hour with some of those people. And they're extremely accredited, and they offer other things like playing with groups and stuff. So I'm just starting out. I'm not accredited. I didn't go to Berklee School of Music. I don't have plaques on the wall. But even at my extremely affordable price, which is like half of what those people are charging, I'm still making a nice little beginning of a musical career for myself. And you are paying extremely, extremely affordable rates. So I'll tell you my prices. I got it all figured out. For 30 minutes, it's $20, which is the most expensive, because it's a lot more, what's the word? Like, it's a lot more inconvenient for all parties involved. But it's not a problem at all. I'm totally willing to do 30-minute slots. Absolutely. $20 each. For an hour, it's $30. So you're doubling your time for $10 more. And I think an hour for $30, which, like I say, is half or even less than half of what a lot of these other teachers in Greenville offer. I think an hour is the smallest amount of time you should do weekly. But I would really recommend a 2 hour session, which I'm doing for $50 um, per week. And I could even get in some discounts if you want to set up like a monthly payment plan and you kind of wanted to, what's the word, like, like I'm sorry, I'm totally blanking out, but like when you promise to, you like, God, the word, it's like a subscription, if I have more, if I, oh, I'm so sorry about this. I have the whole concept in my head. I'm trying to articulate it. But when you have a monthly payment plan, there's more, like, I know where my income is coming from and how much there's going to be. It's just so much more certain for me. And, and so I would definitely do some discount plans if you wanted to just set up a monthly payment. So I worked it out on the screen here. For 30 minutes at $20, you're paying me 66 cents per minute. 1 hour for $30, you're paying me 50 cents per minute. And for 2 hours at $50, you're paying me 41 cents per minute. So from 66 cents per minute to 50 cents per minute to 41 cents per minute, you can see like it gets cheaper and cheaper the more time you have. And it's also like much better for you as a student to spend a decent chunk of time with me, because I mean, imagine a 30-minute lesson. Like, I have it on my card. Like, I'm trying to run through a lot of stuff. So it's not just, teaching you how to play chords and scales. It's also teaching you how to cover songs, and it's also deconstructing artists, and it's also suggesting new music that's similar to what you listen to kind of flesh out genres and to do historical lessons and study and stuff like that. So that's a lot to fit into 30 minutes. And we can make it work, and it could all be focused on where you want to go and what you want to do. But so I recommend a 1 hour or a 2 hour lesson. And also, I am totally cool with teaching children or anybody. If you have some kind of a handicap, even mentally, I've helped non-neurotypical people my whole life, not just musically, but all sorts of ways. I'm kind of one of those guys like who's been who everybody has come to my whole life like I'm a therapist, friends and family members even. So I can help anyone at any point that they're in, whether you're an adult, you're a kid, whether you're, brilliant or or just like the rest of us, because I'm definitely not brilliant. There are kids, you could go on YouTube, there are 13-year-old kids who could outplay me like it's insane. So we're all just struggling, trying to get through it, trying to grow and be better. So yeah, that was my prices. And I played a little lick at the beginning of the video just to kind of get your mind in the right space and see kind of what I sound like my playing. So I'm a shredder, I'm a soloist, I'm very interested in improvisation more than anything at this point in my life. So my repertoire has really suffered, and I've been trying to work on that. But more than anything, the last few years, I've been just absolutely focused on soloing and improvisation. And so I've memorized the major and the minor and the pentatonic scales across the entire fretboard. And sitting and staring at stuff like this all day, practicing it, running it, drilling it up and down, backwards, forwards. So that's kind of my style, is I kind of blend major, minor, and pentatonic, and kind of have a psychedelic rock, kind of heavier, like shreddier vibe. Um, so yeah, I think I've said just about all. I hope the microphone hasn't been too bad. Um, I think that's about it. Let's see, 20 minutes. Goodness. I was really trying to make a shorter video. Alright, well, I'm gonna drink the rest of my coffee, and uh, if you want to leave a comment on this video, if you're in Greenville and you want to contact me, that's one way you can do it. You can also email me at greenvilleguitarteacher@gmail.com. Pretty happy that I got that email address. Let's see, I don't think, yeah, I don't have a card right on me, or I would just show you the information. But yeah, my email, comment on this video, and I think I don't really want to give my last name or my phone number on a YouTube video, just for privacy and security reasons. But I will be watching the comments on this video, and I will be checking that email address every day. And if you do email me or comment, we can hook up. I can give you my phone number. We can do some video chat, some, calls. I have a Discord server as well with 30 people in it, a bunch of friends, and we play games. And you could hop in one of those, and we could do it over video call. I really like doing it in person, because it's just awkward over video, you've got frame rate issues, you can't really, you can't really even see what I'm doing unless I do it real slowly. But that is an option. If we have to work with that, we'll work with that, and we'll make it happen, and I'll do my best. So, alright, I guess that's everything. Thank you for watching this long, if you have. I'm going to be uploading more videos to this channel where I solo and improvise, and just remember that improvisation is messy. It's not planned out. It's like a freestyle rap. It's like how a freestyle rap should be. I know a lot of people, they go into the radio show, for the freestyle, and they're getting all hyped up, and everyone's like, yeah, here comes the freestyle, and then they're like, alright, look, yo mama, this and that, and it's like, man, you're reading that off of a phone. We could see the phone. That's not a freestyle. So anyways, the improvisations are going to be messy. There's going to be some wrong notes. There's going to be some screw-ups. There's going to be awkward pauses and things like that. But that's just the way it is. Part of learning music is learning to let go, release your expectations, and just explore, and try to express yourself. It's not about being right all the time and only hitting correct notes, I wish I had it on me. I should have thought about it. There's a Beethoven quote, I think it was Beethoven, that just inspired me so much, and it was something like, I would rather listen to music like a musician who makes a wrong note every now and then than someone who's a perfectionist. Gosh, it was so good. I'm not going to pull it up right now. It would take too long. I say that as I go into my pictures and start looking for it. Well, if you guys have made it this far, we're all just chilling out, right? Let's see if I could just find it with a quick scroll. 'Cause it was just so perfect. When I heard it, it made me breathe a sigh of relief. Man, it really is okay. If he says it, it's cool. Let's see. Hope you guys are having a good day today. It's hot right now when I'm recording this. It is so hot. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. Oh, here we go. Okay. Ludwig van Beethoven. Van Beethoven. To play a wrong note is insignificant. To play without passion is inexcusable. Man, when I read that, I was like, we're gonna make it. It's gonna be okay. To play a wrong note, it's insignificant. To play without passion, inexcusable. So, perfect. Even got an inspirational quote to end the video. Love you guys. Love is always the answer to everything. Keep it real, whatever. Alright, I'm stopping myself. Goodbye. Hit me up.